Well folks, welcome back to the workshop. Today we have an old and awkward one. A Makita Hammer from 2005, 20 years old. This is the HR4500C. And she may need a little bit of work. She does run. There's a little bit of a growl out of her. Might be a bearing starting to go down there. But the main problem is up here. Chisel is jam solid and the tool holder. She ain't budging, so we'll have to strip this apart to get that chisel out. But funnily enough, it does still hammer. Well, it does a little bit anyway. Hammers initially, but once you pull it away, it loses the actual hammer, the striking it, because this chisel isn't moving up. So, don't know what to do on this one. She's old, she's worn, there could be problems in the motor. It just depends what this here tool holder's like. If this is completely worn out, I don't know if this will be worth fixing or not, but we're going to have to just strip it out and see what the crack is. First things first, start with the tool holder. See if we can get this chisel out. You just never know what you're going to find in a machine when it comes in like this. C-clip out. And this is probably going to be all dirty. That off. Take these out. And the rest. There's a little leaf spring in this and the pin as well. That's all looking a little bit worn. Prise out your change lever, just pulls out. Get off this cover. The screw's actually missing for that. So I'll take it off, get a ruler or something, and just tuck it under the cover. So this can slide over. Get that off. And here should be a leaf spring. Pop that out. And a pin then in here, which looks extremely worn. No, maybe it's not. Needs to be paused then for actually locking on your chisel. I thought they were going to be broken, but they're they're actually not. Right, that's not coming out. And I don't know why. It might have mushroomed down here. If it's a cheap chisel, the cheaper ones can sometimes deform, so as the striker's actually hitting it, the bottom of it starts mushrooming out and jamming inside the tool holder. Could be what's wrong here, but I just don't know until we get it out. Got that oil seal. Let's see if we can get this out now. A little bit of heat and it comes out for you. And it's actually very dry on the inside. There's bits falling out anyway. Aha. That might be something to do with it. That's the end of the chisel. Look at the state of that. So that's broken off and it's fallen down on top of here. And it's been absolutely hammered. So it's been hitting between the chisel and this here striker. So look at the state of the chisel, which is fairly hard. It's all rounded. So that's just snapped off the end of it. And look at the striker bolt. Barely a mark on it. Isn't that amazing? That's how hard damn things are. Now this thing's really dry as well. And these here fluoride rings are all worn out. So they're going to have to be replaced. They're dear enough on their own. They're over 10 or 15 euro for them wee rings. That's obviously gone. But now we have to see if the tool holder's gone. Knock this here out. That is tight. Gonna actually need something a little more substantial. Well, about time. Right, so funny enough, the kiwis are actually still intact and they're not damaged. I was expecting them to be trashed. It's obviously obvious where the problem is anyway. So the chisel's actually mushroomed up here. Snapped off here, then mushroomed, and it's actually jammed itself on, expanded out and got stuck inside the tool holder. That is why you buy good quality bits. When they break like this, they can cause a lot of damage, sometimes actually split the tool holder right down the middle, and they ain't cheap. So that is for the bin. And we're going to have to do a little bit of washing out here now. Now, how far do I go with this machine? This thing was actually still hammering even with a chisel like that. So I'm guessing the piston and hammer should still be okay, but they might need a little bit of extra grease. So I'm just going to wash this out and work on this end and see what she's like then afterwards. Right, that's her all cleaned out. Now I want to do as little as possible to this thing, because I just don't know what the rest of it's like. Sometimes you just get a feeling not to be spending too much money on a machine. I'm getting the feeling with this one. So these fluoride rings, I need these to stop the dirt and grit getting up onto the hammer again. They have to be changed, but they're not cheap. $9.90 plus the VAT. So I'm hoping this is the most I have to spend on this thing. They are worn out, look at that. Flat, not even round anymore. So the O-rings are simple to fit. Straightforward. It's the actual fluoride ones that are tricky. That on first, and then we just have to basically manhandle these here on, stretch them out and get them over the top, and then compress them in again. There's no easy way to do it, you just need to get on with it. That's one. Make sure it is tucked onto the O-ring. There's an actual track on the underside of that fluoride ring that the O-ring sits into. Make sure it actually goes into it. And that's it. Now, might be able to get them on this, but now you actually have to get it into the tool holder as well. So these are a tight fit. So basically you have to squeeze them around the edge now to get them to actually fit into here. And it's an awkward spot down in here, so you just have to do it by feel. See how it's starting to chamfer over. It will compress itself on. Just make sure that O-ring is in the right place. See the way here it's sort of kinked a little bit. That O-ring just might have moved a bit. That's one. Once they initially go on, it makes things a lot easier. You see this line around the outside of this one now. That's what you want to see. If we take it out again and it's kinked to one side, you know it's going to fold over on you. There we go. That's the two of them. It's a tight fit. It's not going to slide very easily. It's only going to start sliding easily when it's actually broken in. So initially when you put the new ones on, it will be stiff. Now we can start rebuilding. First off, the steel ring. Make sure the actual chamfered end is facing back the way. Your rubber bump. The other steel ring, smooth side faces down. A bit more grease. And this plastic sleeve goes on top of that then. Now hopefully I'm doing the right thing here. I'm just putting grease onto this. Hopefully this doesn't need a complete service and I'm just wasting the grease. But I think these should be alright. The actual hammer's not just sliding up and down, she's still in place, so I would say this still has plenty of compression. But we will top up the grease in it. Plenty in there. And reinstall this hammer pipe. Now, why does that not want to go on? There we go. Right. Question is, do I go much further? A quick look at the bearings and just see what they're like. You just don't want to spend too much in machines like this because customer clearly hasn't been looking after it. So you just don't know what else you're going to find. Right, well the brushes aren't too bad. There's a little bit of play in that armature, but not much. Yeah, there's a bit of play in that. We'll just change that bearing. I'm going to see if I can tap this out without taking apart the gearbox. If you are doing this, make sure you're using a nylon hammer or rubber one. Don't hit this here thread at the end of the armature with a metal hammer. You'll just destroy the threads. You'll not be able to refit the fan. Yeah, it's not bad. That one is. We'll change that, and we will just change this one since we're in here now. Oil still seems okay as well. Right, we'll just tidy this up as well. A little bit done. So much we're not doing much with this. To wash the whole thing out. At least now it'll be sounding better and hammering right. Some of these Makita hammers can be a torture to get the armature out. You have to take the plate off. This one's not so bad, so don't really mind doing this. That feels actually a little slack too. That wouldn't be helping. Much better. Much better. An impact driver as well is the best way to get these here fans on and off. You can't really lock the fan because it's only plastic if you're using a spanner. Impactor is just the best. This is the best way to do it. And the brushes are fine as well. I'm not bothered changing them. A little grease on here, which this man probably has never done. And drop them on. And just wondering, it's easier to do it this way. It's sometimes hard to get this back together with the sleeve on because it's all down inside of here. Might be handier to do it before we put the sleeve on. Put this on here. There's the pin as well, actually. Don't forget that. So that's sitting in there. And you get this little leaf spring holding it in. It clips on there. Take the hammer right down it this way anyway. Another clip then on top of here. And now we'll just put the sleeve on. In, and you have your spring, your plastic sleeve, and your cap. Now, last thing is just your lever for selecting your modes. Make sure this pin is sitting in the middle of it. The pin has to go into this hole in the center. Make sure that engages. Finish it off with a wee tap. That should just knock down into place. That's her. Now, see what she sounds like now. Motor sounding an awful lot smoother anyway. Now, to make sure she actually takes a bit and chisels. Now, it might be a bit hard to get the chisel to go up because you have new fluoride rings and that's on the striker bolt. It can be a bit stuffy to the push back, but once it actually gets up and hammering, it'll become a lot freer. Right, let's make sure she hammers all right now. That's it. That's one Makita hammer, HR4500C, up and running again. Anyway folks, that's her. As always, thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, give us a wee like and a follow down below. And if there's any questions on this here, you can drop us a comment as well. Cheers for watching folks. Chat to you later.